it's easy to get carried away with what's happening on social media. That's why I try to filter as much as possible, because when I filter and when I stay off of social media, it helps me to focus, right? I mind what I watch. And the problem is when you try to take chances, when you try to take chances on social media to say, let me just indulge for a minute or two, right? What happens is that, and this also applies to almost any other thing in this world, when you decide to indulge and just say, let me just take a minute or two to indulge and watch something that I have not watched in years, or I have stopped watching, right? You just indulge for a minute, you find out that you are beginning to create an opening, right? Now, what you focus on grows. And the Bible also says sin kills, right? So it does not kill you immediately, it kills you eventually. If you continue in it, it kills you. So when you begin to indulge, little by little, you are creating an opening somewhere in your soul. So you indulge today 1 minute, next week you indulge 1 minute, the other week, that 1 minute has accumulated with the other 1 minute you watched before. It begins to accumulate, and to get to a point where you find yourself sitting down to actually watch something from start to finish, regardless of the time. In fact, you end up binging. You've opened yourself up to that. And in this world, everything in this world is serving to either kingdoms. So it's either the kingdom of light or the kingdom of darkness. That's how it is in this world. And in every sound and everything that we watch, there is a spirit behind it. So it's good for us to question and ask ourselves, what kingdom am I building by doing this, by watching this, by feeling this way or thinking this way or having such conversations? In all our acts, we should always ask ourselves, what kingdom are we building? Even the Bible says we should test every spirit. Okay, it's important. We can question it. It is okay for us to question everything we're doing. It's not very easy, but through the help of the Lord. So my point is, by the time we begin to indulge here and there, we find ourselves diving into something that we had made up our mind not to do in the past. Yeah. And then when I had to go over again to start this whole cleansing, deliverance or something. But you get the point. But it is just the help of God. Let me even give you an example of myself. Earlier this year, I was watching a movie, some romantic movie or something. It was that period where Bridgerton came out, the Bridgerton, Penelope and Colin part. That part of Bridgerton, the first part came out. So I was looking forward to the first part, and I was also watching some other movies here and there. So in that period was a period of romance was in the air, So I was looking forward to that part of Bridgerton, and that came out, and I binged. I sat on it, and obviously I opened myself up to to the spirit behind it, and to me I thought that was it. But So I thought that was it. And what happened was, as a result of that, my consciousness towards the romantic side of relationship sparked. So it created an opening that friend where we don't get normal friendship. You not be looking at him like, oh, romance, Bridgerton kind of thing. That spirit lingers. Oh, those spirits lingers, and they're just looking for a body. They're looking for a body that has access where they can come in. That's one thing about spirits. Okay, spirits, demons no get accommodation. That's one thing we should know. Demons do not have accommodation. They're looking for accommodation. Okay, we as human beings, we are full of the Spirit of God. Okay, now when demons are looking for accommodation and they come to you and they see that you have accommodation, in fact you even have an entire stronghold. No parking. So make sure you are full of the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is in you. Make sure you are full of Christ. Okay, be so full of Christ it gets to your flesh, it gets to your bones. Not just your spirit and your soul. Let it get to your bones. Okay, be so full of Christ because demons don't get accommodation. So once we begin to open ourselves to these things, it is risky. It is so risky. And the enemy can take advantage of our actions, and use it against us. So yeah, that's something I wanted to share.